Hello, and welcome to 5 Minute Math. Today we are looking at the 7th grade concept of solving scale problems. This is 7.5C Readiness Practice, the intermediate version. If you're interested in exploring the 7.5C Readiness Practice for the proficient or advanced versions, or the Readiness Practice resource line with any other standard, you can find those by using the link in the video description. So we have a rectangular garden, and I can draw a rectangle here. And it is 4 feet long and 6 feet wide. All right, so we'll just pretend this is what we're dealing with here, or 8 feet long, excuse me. 8 feet long and then 6 feet wide. Now we have a scale drawing that is a length of 4 inches, okay? And so we can draw that, and it's going to be not as long and not as wide. So if that is going to be our scale drawing, we need to find the width. Well, the length is 4 feet, so we need to know that 8 feet long connects with this length of 4 inches. Okay, so those two are dealing with the same thing. So what is the width of the garden? All right, so I said 4 feet. Let's make this 4 inches. That's going to be helpful if we use the correct scale. And so what we have here is we have 8 feet. Let's draw our little proportion here. We can use cross multiplication. Honestly, what we're looking at the numbers, not necessarily the units, because that's not going to be super helpful. But you see that the 8 feet goes with the 4 inches, right? So we could find the unit rate of inches per feet. Looks like we got 1 inch equals 2 feet. Or we can think, you know what? I can just divide by 2 to get from 8 down to 4. We can divide by 2. So that's going to get me 3 inches. And so, yeah, it looks like if we have 1 inch equals 2 feet. All right. And so our answer here is what is the width of the garden? And so I'll put that right here. That is going to be 3 inches, and we will put that around in blue. All right, so next we are looking at solving scale problems number 2. On a map, the scale is 1 inch equals 5 inches. And the distance between two towns on the map is 3.5 inches. So what is the actual distance? All right, so let's just set up our proportion here. And we've got 1 inch equals, I'm going to do it like this, 5 miles. And so if the other town, I can put my inches over my inches, or I can put my inches across my inches. I just don't want them to be diagonally. You can set it up like this. And I'll actually set it up both ways so you can see it. 1 inch over 3.5 inches equals, and then I just need to make sure my 1 inch goes my 5 miles. Either one of these work. So I'm going to use cross multiplication here. Okay. And you notice what happens when I use cross multiplication. I end up with the exact same, right? And so I'm going to do 3.5 divided by 5. So you can set them the inches on top of the miles, the 1 and the 5, or the inches across from the miles. And that's going to be 25. That's going to be 15, 17. So that's going to go right here. That's going to be 17.5 miles, either way you do it. And we know it's 17.5 because it would be 1 times whatever, right? And so since I divide by 1, or multiply by 1, it's going to be just that 17.5. So the actual distance, put this in pink here, it's going to be 17.5 miles. And then for our third one, we actually have 2 triangles here. And they're both isosceles. It's going to be very important. That's isosceles, which means I've got 2 legs that are of equal length. So I can say line segment AB is 18 centimeters. And then I can say line segment AC is 18 centimeters. Same thing. I can say DF on the smaller triangle is 12, and I can say DE is also 12 centimeters. The question is, what is the length of EF? Well, I have to use a proportion for that. And I can say, all right, so line segment AB, right, is going to be to line segment BC. And I'm going to do that same side, and that's why I needed the isosceles. I need to know what DE is. DE is to EF. And I will go ahead and just kind of highlight what I did here. So I did AB is to BC, and you just have to match up your sides, as DE is to EF. All right, so we've matched up the sides. Sometimes the triangles will be in different orientations. In this case, they're not. So let's replace. AB is 18, BC is 6, DE is 12, and then EF is my unknown, so I'm just going to make that X. So let's do some cross multiplication. So 18X is going to equal 6 times 12, that's 72. So X is going to equal 72 divided by 18. All right, so let's divide 72 by 18. 3, that's going to be just 4. Yeah, perfect. All right, so it's just 4. So X is going to equal, let's finish that out, 4. And let's get our unit for centimeters. And we'll put this up here. Put our unit for centimeters. If you are interested in exploring the 7.5C Readiness Practice resource for the proficient or advanced versions, or the Readiness Practice resource along with any other standard, you can find those by using the link in the video description.